futuristic, award-winning. This is not a yacht. This is a statement.
It began quietly, the way most life-changing stories do. Just a couple with a camera and a dream. Rico and Victoria, better known as Nauti Styles.
The first 425s actually I've seen.
Great size. Can I still call this sugar scoops?
Yeah, swim platform.
Swim platform, I guess. Yeah, great.
Weren't born into the super yacht world they now seem to command. They built their empire from salt water and long nights, turning curiosity into content and curiosity into cash. To millions online, they were the perfect pair, the adventurous couple living every sailor's fantasy. But behind the waves of views and the polished smiles, something darker was brewing. Because what started as a journey toward freedom slowly became a fight to keep it. Rico had once been a DJ, a man used to rhythm, crowds, and control. Victoria was the steady one, licensed captain, planner, navigator. Together they left behind ordinary life for one built entirely on the water. At first it was paradise. Every sunrise was a painting, every port a new chapter. They toured yachts most people would never step foot on, slept under stars others only saw on screens, and grew their following one breathtaking upload at a time. Their chemistry was natural, their charm unforced. They made luxury look accessible, adventure look easy. But nothing about what they were doing was easy. The channel grew faster than they ever imagined. Sponsors called, boat builders emailed. Audiences demanded more tours, more details, more of everything. And so Nauti Styles became a business, one that demanded constant fuel. They filmed walkthroughs, hosted charters, answered sponsors, edited through the night. Their life became their content and the sea their studio. But every business built on beauty hides a cost. The bigger the brand grew, the heavier it became to carry. In 2021, they announced the Dream Project. They wouldn't just film other people's yachts anymore, they would build their own. A steel-hulled Explorer yacht, designed from scratch in partnership with Bering Yachts. It would be their forever home. Rugged, powerful, unstoppable. Fans celebrated. The promise of their own vessel felt like the natural next chapter. But the truth quietly was different. The project demanded everything they had. Finances, time, patience. Delays began, costs rose. The excitement of creation turned into the anxiety of obligation. Every update video, every post about progress carried a silent weight. Another deadline missed, another invoice due, another sleepless night trying to hold it together. Their dream boat, once called the B-75 and later the B-82, was supposed to symbolize freedom. Instead, it became a chain. The realities of a custom build, rising steel prices, design changes, logistics, collided with the fragile economics of YouTube. Ad revenue fluctuated, sponsors slowed down. The more they needed to show progress, the less there was to show. Behind the glossy titles and cheerful intros, stress was eating away at them. They were trapped between two worlds, the audience's expectations and the cold, unromantic truth of boat ownership. Victoria once said that living on a yacht isn't a vacation, it's a full-time job. And now building one was closer to warfare. There were delays from the shipyard, decisions about engines, interiors, and equipment.
Ready to cast. And when this line is running, we're putting a propeller mold on the floor, ready for pouring every 17 minutes.
Wow.
So we have a fairly high output.
Every choice had a price. Every price came with risk. They weren't just building a yacht, they were gambling their livelihood on it. Yet online, the story had to stay beautiful. Their brand was built on aspiration, not exhaustion. And so the struggle stayed hidden beneath edited smiles, scenic ports, and the soundtrack of gentle waves. Rico and Victoria had gone from charter crew to industry voices, but the higher they climbed, the lonelier it became. Viewers wanted more grandeur, more yachts, more perfection. But behind the lens, they were two people trying to balance love, work, and constant motion. The sea may look calm on camera, but living aboard means constant maintenance, endless expenses, and the quiet fear of what happens when something breaks.
I'm freezing this awful fridge. Oh, come on, ice. Come on.
Not just on the boat, but inside you. For a time, the pressure pushed them to their limit. Their content slowed, their tone changed. Longtime fans noticed something was off. The laughter was still there, but thinner. The lightness of early episodes was replaced by a kind of cautious professionalism. Less adventure, more presentation. People asked questions. Was the yacht delayed? Were they in trouble? Had the dream gone wrong? The answers never came clearly, because how do you tell millions of strangers that your fantasy life has turned into work that never ends? The numbers looked impressive. Millions of views, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, sponsorships from global shipyards. But the truth behind those numbers was fragile. Estimates of their net worth varied wildly, from a few million to over 15. The reality was simple. Most of what they earned went straight back into the dream: production, travel, repairs, and now the build. They had achieved what almost no one does, but the cost of that success was constant exhaustion. There's a line that sailors know well: the sea gives and the sea takes. For Rico and Victoria, it gave them fame and purpose, but it also took their peace. What viewers saw as freedom, waking up to open horizons, dropping anchor in turquoise bays, was in truth a schedule built around uploads, deadlines, and email. When they weren't filming, they were managing logistics. When they weren't sailing, they were editing. Their boat was both home and office, their dream both sanctuary and prison. Still, they pressed on. The yacht project continued, slowly but surely. Every new piece welded in the shipyard was a step closer to redemption. Every update video was another chance to remind their audience that they were still fighting, still building, still believing. But the innocence of the early days was gone. The simple joy of discovery had been replaced by responsibility to their viewers, to their sponsors, to themselves. People rarely think of YouTube fame as fragile, but it is. Algorithms change, sponsors shift, audiences move on. For Nauti Styles, the challenge wasn't just to stay afloat literally, but digitally. Every episode had to perform. Every thumbnail had to attract. And when the world expects luxury and optimism, there's no room to show the cracks. So they didn't. They smiled through the fatigue, polished every detail, and told their story the way they wanted it told. But privately, they knew that freedom had a price. They were living the dream, but the dream had become work. The very sea that once offered escape now demanded constant proof of success. They couldn't stop sailing because stopping meant losing relevance. They couldn't stop building because too many people were watching. And they couldn't stop filming because the brand depended on it. The irony was cruel. They had left land to be free, only to find themselves anchored by expectation. As months turned into years, the Bering build slowly neared completion. Updates became rarer but more measured, the tone more thoughtful. The couple who once gushed with excitement now spoke with quiet determination. They had learned perhaps the hardest way possible that chasing perfection comes with storms no one sees. The sea doesn't care about dreams. It only demands resilience. So what really happened to Rico and Victoria of Nauti Styles? There was no scandal, no shipwreck, no public collapse. The tragedy wasn't sudden, it was gradual, quiet, and human. It was the realization that freedom once found must constantly be defended, that even success can start to feel like survival. They're still here, still sailing, still creating, but the tone has changed. The light in their story is softer now. Not the blinding glow of ambition, but the warm flicker of endurance. Their new yacht will one day set sail. Their channel will go on, but those who followed from the beginning can sense the undertow. The dream that once promised endless freedom now carries the weight of everything they've built. Behind every drone shot and every glimmering wake lies the truth of two people who gave everything to a vision and discovered that even paradise comes with storms. Maybe that's the real lesson of Nauti Style, that the sea doesn't promise happiness, it only offers honesty. It strips away illusion until all that's left is who you are when no one's watching. And for Rico and Victoria, that truth is both beautiful and brutal. They set out to chase freedom, and in doing so, found something far more complicated: the cost of never giving up. Because when you live your life on the water, you learn quickly that calm seas never last. The tides always turn, and sometimes the hardest part of the voyage isn't surviving the storm. It's remembering why you set sail in the first place.